We would like to thank our sponsors, Getaway Today. Use Getaway Today for all of your vacation planning needs. You'll get exclusive perks, great discounts, and the best customer service. Most importantly, their services are always free and easy, from experienced and passionate agents who love to make your vacation dreams come true. Head on over to getawaytoday.com from the link in our show notes to see their exclusive deals, and you can call 855-GETAWAY and let them know Walt's Apartment sent you to start planning your next vacation today.
There was an idea. The idea was to bring together a group of remarkable people, see if they could become something more.
I have an army.
We have a Hulk.
This is the Marvel Tribe, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.
Avengers!
Assemble.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Marvel Tribe. We're a group of excited and passionate individuals who have come together to share our love of all things Marvel. We're brought to you by Walt's Apartment Podcast and the DisInsider.com. My name is Shawn, and I'm joined by an amazing group of people. We have Sam, David, and Bill joining us here tonight. From the big screen to the small print, feel the pulse in your chest so you know you're alive. One team, one love. It's the Marvel Tribe.
Marvel Tribe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love
How y'all
it.
doing? How y'all doing tonight?
Good. I missed that. That's awesome.
Right? I had to go find that, and I had to figure out the right wording, but that was that.
Feel the pulse in your chest. Yes.
So you know
Feel
you're
pumped
alive. Yeah,
Feel
right?
pumped now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Sam, how you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Are you
I'm
snowed in
excited.
completely yet?
Almost.
Okay. Well, me and David live a mile from each other, and it's just wet here. So,
Yeah.
And Bill, you're iced over?
Yeah, it's iced over, and it's now turned back to snow. And it went from a foot down to 1 to 3 inches, and now it's going back up to 3 to 6 inches with all of the sleet and ice that we have. So I'm going to be home for a little while.
Wow. Well, we have a big show this week. A lot of stuff happened on WandaVision, and we want to dive right into it. So, Sam, if you want to hit us with your recap of WandaVision, we will just break it down. Then after that, we are going to get the perspective of a 4-year-old who watches WandaVision, and she will give us her thoughts, which I 100% agree with everything she says. So,
Not just any 4-year-old. It's a super genius 4-year-old.
It is. That's right.
Yes.
I mean, she gets that from her mother.
She gets a lot from her mother.
This is true. I'm not going to argue that.
All right. Let's do this.
So this episode, Malcolm in the Middle, that's
Right.
kind of what we're rolling with.
Yes.
I know a lot of people weren't fans of that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it is the Halloween episode that so many people were waiting for. We got to see Wanda in her Sokovian fortune teller costume and Vision in his luchador costume.
Yeah,
but
Mexican wrestler. Yeah.
Yes.
Chili con carne.
Chili con carne.
I love it.
Ooh. So the boys are, getting ready for Halloween. We get this intro where we kind of see that they're kind of close to Agnes. Like, she's in the intro and she's in the house with them, and the boys seem really comfortable with Agnes in this intro. And
She's naughty.
her bottom does say naughty on it.
Yes.
So, I mean, they should have, obviously it's a playoff of Juicy, but we're going to see where that goes. But I'm going to confuse the boys' names, the twins' names. Billy is the one. Yeah, so Billy is the one that is hanging out with Pietro, right?
Tommy, the speedster.
Got it. Okay. So Tommy is like, Pietro's so cool. Billy is kind of hesitant of Pietro, like, don't wake him up. And this is all happening very quickly. I think this is like the day after Pietro got there, and Wanda's still unsure of him. And so Billy's unsure of him. Vision tells Wanda that he has to go do the watch patrol. And Pietro's going to take the kids trick-or-treating with her. And they're outside and she's talking to Herb. And Vision is not on duty with the neighborhood watch. And Wanda surprisingly didn't pursue that. She just kind of was like, oh, okay. And the boys are pranking people and stealing candy and doing all these silly things with their uncle. And then we see Tommy get his super speed. And then we see a conversation between Pietro and Wanda. They're kind of quizzing each other, questioning each other. She's trying to figure out how Pietro got there, and he's saying he doesn't really know, that she called him there. And we see some weird things happening on the edge of town that Vision is seeing. Weird conversation with Agnes. Vision tries to get out of the hex. This is after Darcy and Wu have and Monica have been fired, basically. By the director. I don't know. So there's a lot happening. And then we have Billy start to get his empath powers, and he realizes something's happened to Vision. He sends Wanda for help, or he goes to Wanda for help. Wanda freezes the whole town after she knocks over Pietro for being a smart aleck. And then she, in order to stop Vision from basically like dematerializing as he's trying to get out of the hex, she pushes the hex out, and all of the sword agents and other things that were outside of the hex have now become part of the hex. The sword agents and their tents and everything become part of the circus because they're a bunch of clowns. Haywood did get out.
Barely.
Hayward.
Barely.
Is it
Yes.
Hayward?
Hayward.
Hayward, yeah. Hayward. Is it Haywood? Okay, see, I keep going back and forth every week.
It's word.
Is it
Hayward.
Wood?
Hayward.
Word.
Haywood?
Hayward.
Hayward. Listen, y'all, that director guy with the H name,
Right.
he barely escapes. Darcy is inside of the hex now, so I'm curious to see how that plays out. But basically, that's where they left us, is that hex gets stretched, and then boom, episode's over.
Yeah. That was a crazy ass show. Just from everything. Then,
Oh, I loved it.
yeah. So let's start back at the beginning. Like we do every time, we'll break everything down. Now, the Malcolm in the Middle I thought was a great beginning. Do you guys ever listen to the words to the opening songs?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
This one was,
Yeah.
I watched it with subtitles on.
Mm-hmm.
So I was reading the words, and there was a lot of talk about illusion, and we're choosing not to let go of this because we want to keep living in the illusion
And make it fun. And it's all about fun. So I thought it was, I love the theme songs always kind of go into the,
It did say you never know who's going to come over or something like that.
Yeah.
It's, here we go. Don't try to fight the chaos. Don't question what you've done. The game can try to play us. Don't let it stop the fun. Some days it's all confusion, easy come and easy go. But if it's all an illusion, sit back, enjoy the show. Let's keep going. Through each distorted day. Let's keep going, though there may be no way of knowing who's coming by to play.
Yep.
Ooh.
Like Pietro.
Yeah. Which is not Pietro, but that's okay.
Right.
I love how they added, I guess, Auntie Agnes now to the
Right. Yeah.
in the credits and stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting that she's added now. I feel like she's meant to be very close to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why yet, but I feel like she's supposed to be very close to the boys.
I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so it's speculation. I don't really have that, but I think she is trying to fan the flames of fighting between Wanda and Vision.
Absolutely.
So they destroy each other, and she gets control of the boys.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yes,
That's
I
yeah,
agree.
I totally agree.
100%.
Definitely. Yeah.
Same.
She's, and I do like in a sense that she's a protector of the boys, but her motives are definitely not clean.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all.
So then we kind of go a little bit. They, the boys, they put on their costumes. And then the one boy, he gets the same costume as his uncle. So they're going to be both the speedsters. And
Tommy.
so then they start trick or treating, right? And they're out. And I thought the interaction with Herb was really weird too. It was kind of the same thing that Agnes did last week by saying, "Do you need me to fix it?" And because she seemed kind of put off by what was going on. And what are you guys' thoughts on that?
My thought is that Herb believes what Agnes has told him. We saw the interaction between Agnes and Herb back when Herb cut the wall a few episodes ago. So if Agnes says it's all Wanda and you need to make Wanda happy, then that's what he's going to do, because Herb also talks to Vision, and therefore she wants that division.
Oh, absolutely. I think, Agnes, she's definitely playing chess in this game.
Agreed.
While Wanda's playing checkers, because I think there's a long move that is being set up that we saw in the last episode with the dog, where she was acting surprised about how Wanda can bring something back from the dead and stuff. And I think she's going to use the dead dog to help solidify that division between the boys and mom. Like, dad got brought back and family is everything. And I think she's going to be the interloper. She's going to reference that moment that those boys were going through that distress and stuff, and really kind of help that. Like, she's really playing the long game. She's playing chess on all sides, dividing Vision and Wanda, dividing the residents and Wanda, dividing the kids. And I think she really wants those kids. She's around more since those kids are there. She kind of took on that nanny now / auntie kind of role and stuff. And she wants in. I think eventually she wants to be mom.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I am going to say, though, that I do still think Wanda is playing some role of director. Like, the town people still see her as someone who can make things happen. Like, she can make changes. Like, we see that in the episode. Wanda has very much control over the situation. So I think it is an innocent thing for Herb to ask her, because, Wanda could want something changed and he'd have to change it.
Right. Well, if he listens to Agnes is telling Herb, "Hey, Wanda's the one that controls all this." Of course, he's going to ask.
Yeah.
So that's. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead, Sam.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
That's exactly where I was going, Shawn. Is they're all seeing Wanda as this director, and Wanda probably is using that to her advantage a little bit. We haven't seen her ask anybody to change anything. We see her change everything herself.
Right.
But I don't put it past her to say, yeah, change it, like if it suits her at the time. Can we take it back a step, though, and go back to when Vision first comes down the stairs? And it seems like it's the night after that fight where she rolled the credits on him.
Yeah.
And he is like, "Well, there's nothing else in my closet." And
a little
like,
snarkiness.
So like, he wanted to be angry, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm going to let it go for right now." And he's like, "Now be good."
Right.
Like, obviously he does not trust Wanda right now.
And the sons even said, "Well, mom and dad have kind of been, fighting, not fighting, but so, yeah, just, yeah."
So we've definitely seen people planting that doubt. We've seen, with Herb and Agnes, they're planting that doubt. Monica disappearing, obviously. That was Wanda was responsible for that. But that planted doubt in him, the way things are happening. Obviously, he's figured out that Wanda has some control over the situation, so he does not trust her right now. And we're going to see characters continue to manipulate that and drive a wedge between them, because when that wedge is between them, that's when we're going to see the big kaboom.
Mm-hmm.
And you do notice the wedge driving characters. Pietro is part of that too. He challenges Vision every once in a while. He's like the, it's one thing if you're the brother-in-law that you kind of grew up with and you have this kind of rivalry, but they never met each other, and he's coming out like full on swinging, like, hey, Dad, let him go off. You need a father figure, and I have all the XY chromosomes and this, and the what's up with the popsicle, and just he's kind of really kind of throwing those digs for Wanda's benefit for her to hear these things and stuff, and just it's like he's like, I'm here. I'm the new guy in town.
It's kind of like Agnes is driving Vision further apart, and Pietro is driving Wanda further apart.
Right.
Now, note that in that scene, Wanda didn't rewind and fix things like she did. Episode 3, when Vision kind of strayed, she kind of just rewound time and made him obey or comply. She didn't do that this time.
Yeah, I think she's trying to not use her control on him because he has figured out what's happening now, and I think she's trying to respect her husband, respect the fact that he has figured this out, while still trying to play the cards. Like, obviously she's still going to do things, like she made him wear the costume. She took everything else out of his closet. So she still has some control over him, and he's still going to fight her on that. But I don't think she's trying to do these big things right now because he's figuring out these big things, and she doesn't want him to resent her.
Makes sense. So let's go forward a little bit to when the kids are trick-or-treating, and Pietro's line of, what was the line about demon spawn? He says,
unleash hell.
Unleash hell, demon spawn, which a great nod to obviously Mephisto, right?
Yep, because they are fragments of his soul.
Yeah, they're shards of Mephisto. Yes, so absolutely that is a nod to, because it's absolutely true in the comic books. They are absolutely a part of Mephisto. The demon spawn, they're the spawns of the demon himself. So
this is the first time we've actually had anybody connect the kids to their origins.
True.
I'm gonna stick with Pietro because I think we're all in agreement that he's definitely not the brother. He's not, he's not Quicksilver. He is there for a very specific reason and stuff. And I think there's definitely some clues, which I love the reference of when he talks about when they were they went trick or treating and back in Sokovia. Yeah, and they before they got not scurvy or something, but anyway, you see the old witch lady kind of drops a herring into his trick or treat bag. So, and there's reference to herrings and stuff. I mean, obviously, anyone who knows what a red herring is, it's a deception, a kind of misdirect and stuff. And so the fact that, I love the fact that it was this kind of subtle, this old witch, which I'm sorry, it could be just a sweet old lady. I don't mean to say that the lady who answers the door was the old witch or anything, but it was an old lady who, no, she's a witch. You're giving kids fish. There's something wrong.
Right.
But she's a witch or something else that rhymes with witch.
Yeah.
Right.
So she drops the I assume what looks like a herring fish into Pietro's little knapsack here, and then
what about Pietro's costume though?
He was Nick Fury, right?
He was Nick Fury, and she was.
Well, I posted
they sure look like it.
I posted a meme with the connection. Nick Fury, obviously with the eye patch and stuff, but the Charlotte, the skirt. No, I'm sorry.
Black Widow.
Thank you. Black Widow costume. You would, if you saw the actual blown out version of that picture, you'll see that Wanda had antennas. Obviously, yeah. So, but chopped down, it looks like wow, that looks like Black Widow and stuff. So no, there wasn't really a Black Widow reference there. That was just a meme that was kind of going around and edited, and it really made. I mean, the Nick Fury one, I have no explanation for that.
Right.
He shouldn't know who Nick Fury is as a kid. Maybe not, but Scarlet Witch, that was a reach, and so,
Yeah.
but that was interesting. It was, but yeah, back to the red herring. Like, yeah, the character I think he's playing, he is a red herring and stuff. She mentioned turning him into a herring. When
She did.
when they went to go, he was like, "Where's the shaving cream and the balloons and stuff?" And he was like, "You better behave before I, turn you into a cold herring or I can't remember what it was.
Pickled herring. Pickled
herring and stuff." And so yeah, there's some mentionings of that. I just thought there's some nice. They still want to drop nice little clue bombs and stuff as to what's going on. So I love it. I love it. Pietro is definitely an imposter, and he's not an X-Man that showing up to the universe.
He's a plant.
Yeah,
but he does have the power. So if he's not an X-Man, how does he have that power? How does he have the super speed?
Oh,
who is he, David?
Excellent question.
Let David handle this.
well, this goes into what Bill hinted on the last episode about Wanda kind of having this mental kind of break and stuff. And for me, the clues that really brought it home for me, that he is really just kind of a figment of her power of the imagination, is their interaction, their back and forth, really their interaction is, I call it, it's the same way as a person who's talking to themselves in the mirror. They ask questions and they don't answer questions. He's perfect. And when she asks him a question, he turns around and kind of just, ask her a question, like, why don't you have an accent? Why don't you have an accent?
He's mirroring her. Yeah. He's mirroring her questions with more questions.
So a person with a split personality, I mean, the thing is, he, even when he asked, like, what happened? Like, I got shot, down in the street, and then I heard that you needed me, so here I am. A person who's kind of battling mental health, who's starting to see things that's very real to them, they manifest that real thing and stuff. And the thing is, that person that they manifest don't know more than the person who is manifesting them. So there's no way Pietro is going to give her new information. All the information she has is kind of, it's kind of surface based and just, or it doesn't get answered and stuff. So,
and with her knowing too, manifestation for like a witch is something completely different too, because like for her, she could be believing like, oh, I manifested this, so this happened, because obviously she knows she's got powers. So if she thinks she manifested it, then she thinks I actually made him come here. I made this happen, because that's how witches believe their power works. So, it may be why she's considering it as a possibility even. Like, she's still very skeptical though.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I like, so the twins was interesting when the uncle would sleep on the couch, and the twin had a nice little conversation with each other about waking them up, because it's 4:00 in the afternoon, and not Tommy, Billy was hesitant. He didn't want to. He had actual fear in this, and the thing is, Billy is kind of like Mom.
He's an empath.
Yes, has those magical powers. He doesn't fully realize until later in the episode about these powers and stuff, but he can feel things, and he noticed something definitely off with the uncle. And when the uncle who was listening in kind of jumped up and did the scare and stuff, you see Tommy is kind of laughing, like screaming, like, Billy is petrified. This kid needs to get an Oscar, but I full on believe if the other twin brother wasn't there, we'd be looking at a situation where this kid is like, he is terrified of the uncle and stuff.
Something else that I noticed, when Billy does like his aside, the only one who realizes that he's doing an aside is Pietro. And Pietro looks over at him. Like, his brother's not looking at him, his parents aren't looking at him. Pietro is aware of what's happening, and he's looking at him like he's breaking the sitcom kind of.
Fourth wall.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I thought that the asides were interesting, just that the kids are their own kind of people, their own. I don't know. It just made them real. It made them
absolutely.
That plays into that Malcolm in the Middle, because Malcolm was always doing those asides.
Right. Yeah. And I get that, but just they chose that for a reason, right? They chose to go down that road for a very specific reason. It just.
Yeah, and we're finally getting more about the boys.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like Bill was saying, the boys' characters are being fleshed out with individual thoughts and commentary and stuff versus everyone else. All the other characters are just playing their character roles. Right. And up until the boys were really of age, we didn't really know if they really were real or if they're just characters. And now with these sides and stuff, we're seeing their interpretation of what's happening and what's going and like those. So yeah, I thought that was really genius. And I never watched Malcolm in the Middle, so I'm not too familiar with how that was set. Not that I would have hated or anything. We just different times, and it wasn't part of my era. So
I know a lot of people were disappointed it wasn't like Saved by the Bell or something, but I was like, I was a Malcolm in the Middle lover. Like, I loved Malcolm. It was always on at our house. That was like my era. So I love this episode, and I love the asides. I caught all of that. It was really fun for me. So I was excited.
Yep. So going forward from this part, we move into that we're back at the sword base, right? After their Halloween. So then you see how much a bigger of a dick, Hayward is, and they all talk crap to him, and he basically fires them all. So just because they challenge his authority, it's like, what the hell,
He went in on Wanda. I'm not Wanda. I'm sorry. He went in on Monica. He called her. He talked about her mama. He's like, your mama. It's like, basically, before I fire you, hey, your mama. Right. So I was like, I'm surprised she didn't pull out a gun, just blow him away, and reveal that he's a Skrull. I was like, you don't talk about someone's mama like that. It's like, you don't have the heart for this, your mom.
And they keep bringing up Carol. And that's why I think she's going to be one of these people that's going to show up by the end of this, because they keep bringing her up. Why do they keep bringing her up? I don't know.
It could be foreshadowing too, because
it could be.
Photon. I mean, like, Monica's going to be our next Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. So she's going to go through Photon phase, and I think the show is setting up a lot of the next phase. So
definitely.
Like obviously they came out and told us this is going to set up Doctor Strange too, but they also know every piece of the Marvel universe from whatever movie sets up other things in the universe. So I think we may get an answer to the history in Captain America and Captain Marvel 2. We may just have to wait to kind of figure out what's that in between piece that happened and stuff.
It's so genius.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, absolutely. It is.
So after they get kicked out, Darcy and Wu and Monica sneak back in.
Badass Wu.
Oh,
Wu
yeah, this is
badass.
like, they literally, like, Darcy's just like, what the hell just happened? They manhandled those sword agents like it was nothing.
Darcy's like, what the hell? I don't even.
She's like, why didn't anybody tell me the plan? And it's like, don't worry about it, Darcy. You just stand there and look adorable, and Monica and Wu can handle this.
We got you.
So they, took the uniforms, they sneak back inside the base, and then they find out that Hayward has found a way to see through the veil of the hex, and he's been tracking Vision through the vibranium, and he can see how many people are in the hex in Vision's proximity, and like the people are kind of not even moving really close to the edge of the hex, which is kind of where Vision's like, what is happening here? And then that's when we get to his conversation with Agnes.
Oof.
Oh, absolutely. So about the tracking thing, I love how it says the decaying vibranium.
Decaying, yeah.
Decaying, yeah.
When they built him, they injected vibranium into live cells. This is what the synthezoid is, and so
it was a heart, right? He had a human heart, yeah.
So when he was dying, and the cells would be the only thing that would be breaking down that would emit anything that's trackable. So the fact that they put decaying vibranium, it was just another like, yep, Vision is dead. They're tracking his dead body throughout this hex, that was created and stuff. So I thought that was very, very telling. But yes, he interacts with Agnes in a very interesting way. I have more questions than answers for the Agnes interaction and stuff, because she absolutely kind of threw. I mean, we saw the commercials. It was the commercials before they even introduced WandaVision of her in the witch costume in the car, and he touches her. But as the story develops, it seemed odd that she was kind of frozen. It's like she herself is absolutely subservient to the hex that is trapped in. So no, I don't. I definitely still think she's a player and stuff, but I do think that as you get further away, from the center of that hex, things aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, she was different than everybody else, though. Like, people who were closer to the center of town were completely frozen. She was not. So again, to me, that's a huge difference. I think she was playing. I don't think she was serious there. I don't think that she was. I think that she was, again, messing with Vision, and that was the way to do it. Yeah. Sorry, Sam, go ahead.
No, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh no, like she's frozen too. Like, he had to touch her head to, break her out of it. And then I watched it again and I was like, wait, Agatha Harkness wouldn't necessarily know about the Avengers, right? To ask him like, oh, you're an Avenger. Would she know about?
Yeah, so Agatha Harkness is over 1,000 years old, which is the reason why she doesn't have her ID, but she wouldn't know about. Well, yeah, she. I mean,
everybody else in the town knew about the Avengers before, before whatever the hex is. Right. I would imagine, right? Yeah, because they all had lives before that.
Yep.
I forgot that. I forgot she's that old. Never mind. Like, for some reason, I was just like, she is so old, she doesn't know anything. But now that you're talking about it, you guys are, she would probably know.
She's old enough to know Namor when he was a child. I mean, she's
Do you really want to get me back on Namor?
I'm just saying. So yeah, so we're talking about that 3-week setting event from when Hulk snapped people back. And that big battle, which everyone. I mean, you have to think that it made world news,
right? Yeah.
And so none of this happened until after all this. So yeah, she would, whatever she was doing, I think she would absolutely know about the event.
Okay, so yeah, that kind of changes my perspective. I'm not sure then what I make of the car scene. I'm not sure if she was playing him or not. I am kind of 50-50 because she did have a very authentic reaction when he touched her.
Mm-hmm.
So that for me is like, well, maybe. But then her words were kind of like she was trying to lead him down a path. So I'm like, I don't know.
She made him go. She made him even more want to go through that fence. So
she gave him more questions than the answers.
Yep.
But my question is, she gave me more questions too, because it's like, why, if she is controlling everything, like if she's part of the control of this whole thing, why does she want Vision to get out if she's part of how Vision possibly got there? Like, why would she want Vision to disappear? Why would she
wants the kids?
And she wants Vision dead. Because that would take Wanda kind of out of the equation, and
we all know she goes crazy. So I mean,
she goes cray-cray.
That's just going to make it worse if he actually would die. So again,
think about this. I think the main draw for this illusion to stay in place would be the fact that Wanda really loves Vision and wants this family. If she can disrupt that, if we're assuming that her angle is to get her hands on those twins, which would be some of the most powerfulest twins on the planet. Then now she's in destruction mode, which makes sense for her to push Vision to battle or to go against Wanda and stuff, and to destroy that family. Because if you destroy the family, the reality, I mean, the whole purpose for that existence is for her to have that family. So if you destroy that, game over and stuff.
Do you think that battle is going to happen?
Oh, yeah. We have to. They're not going to lead us through a whole season, you think?
I don't know.
There will be a battle. I don't know
between them two, though.
I don't know if Vision and Wanda will battle. I
don't think so, because if you see some of the previews you've seen where he says, "This is our town," and she says, "Well, let's fight for it." I mean, it could be great editing. I don't know. You know what I mean? But it looks like they're speaking to each other. So
I think that there's going to be the big battle. Something is going to happen with the kids. And Wanda is going to completely transform into the Scarlet Witch, and there's going to be no more Wanda left inside of her. Like, she's going to be not good. Sorry, guys.
I agree. I think Scarlet Witch will eventually take over. I'm going to be honest. I think Wanda will be dead. There will be no more Wanda. And not saying that Scarlet Witch is an inherently bad character or anything, but I really think the alter ego, the innocent, the scared, the shy, the person who regretted immediately after sending Monica out, like with her powers, that person is gone. I think the Scarlet Witch will form. I think it's telling that not to jump ahead, but how the Scarlet Witch expanded the head. So can you imagine if she thinks her husband's in danger and she's able to do that? Imagine what she will do for her kids and whatever happens to those kids. The whole world could be in trouble. And this could be absolutely how we get mutants and everything else and stuff. So
that's what I'm noticing about the Scarlet Witch part of the character is there's no respect for boundaries. She has no remorse. She has no regret. So I'm going to take it to childhood trauma. Here's my child psychology coming out over here. When you have a traumatic childhood, there are two things that you can become. You can become an empath, or you can become a narcissist. Well, we see Wanda. Wanda is an empath. We know she's an empath. But then we have the Scarlet Witch, who you've taken everything that she loves. Like, she's had this traumatic childhood. Her life is becoming gradually more traumatic. And we know that these stressors are triggering her transformation. I feel like she's going to have those narcissistic tendencies where it's like, I don't have what I want. So now I don't care who gets hurt in the process, and I don't care what boundaries I cross or what rules I break, because this is what I want to do now.
I like that. I do. Absolutely. I mean, I think it's almost like the commercial break that we have to go to. Yo, Magic. Those of you guys who no, it's not. I'm not. I was trying to be funny and segue into a Yo Magic commercial. I couldn't pull it off quite right. But yeah, no, I think that actually kind of supports what you're saying. I think that Wanda is definitely that. So in that commercial, can we talk about that commercial? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Bill's ready to connect it too to our last theory.
It's the next stone.
Yes, this is right up. I think Bill should absolutely get all the credit because of the affinity stones and all the correlation and stuff. But so I'll just kind of walk through the commercial real quick. And so we see kind of in the 90s form of commercials, claymation, which was huge. Whether it's like yogurts or Lipton tea, all those things.
Fruit Gushers.
Yes, Gushers. They try to jazz it up for kids. This was complete. We're trying to be cool and hip and stuff for teenagers and kids. And so anyway, so they do claymation. There's this island in the middle of nowhere, and you see this person sitting there starving, even though there's a looks like a eaten fish, a herring, the bones of a herring, and a crab and a palm tree. And then this predator shark jumps out of the water, and it's like, hey, Yo Magic. Gives the stranded person the yogurt cup, I presume, and takes off. And then you see the person tries to open the yogurt cup, keeps failing and failing. And you see night and day going, and the person starts to get older and decays until it eventually dies, unable to open the Yo Magic, which, it's set up to save this person's life. That's the commercial that we saw. I'm going to let Bill kind of throw down because he can connect a lot of the stones and what else is happening in this commercial.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it is just theories, right? But certainly, I think you can see a reference to the Soul Stone in that, which means we have one more left to go. So there's that. I keep looking for what the deeper meaning of that commercial is, So is the kid, is it Wanda who is on an island alone and Yo Magic is what's going to kill her? Is it Vision? And that Diane, Sam, you've got a theory there?
Okay, so I think that it is going to be Wanda, and basically whatever happens is going to take everybody away from her, and the Scarlet Witch is going to be all that's left. So I think that Wanda inside is going to die. So I think that everything's going to be taken away from her. She's going to be alone, and then kaboom, Wanda as we know it is dead.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we have the Power Stone that is left, right? And I guess we probably see that next week, or this week. This week now.
Yes.
But yeah, for such a short commercial, I think that was the shortest of all of the commercials that we have seen so far. Mm-hmm. There was just so much that you could take from it, when you see the kid decaying, that sounds awful to say, but when you see that happening, and then you kind of see the same stuff that Vision has gone through, and all of that, that's where I kind of see that there. So that's why I'm not positive it's Wanda. It could very well be Vision who is, going to die again. As a result of all of the magic and everything else going on. So yeah, there's a lot there. So much there.
Yeah, I think for me, I think the power of the Yo Magic power is very telling. I think it shows how if Wanda's not able to get control, she is absolutely going to die. This is kind of a premonition. Like this is what's going to happen. That power you have to unlock. It's kind of like they say unlocking. I think we're having two things happening at the same time. We're having the demise of one and the rise of the other. And I have to assume, and this is where my theory is, when we get that next commercial, the power, we're going to really see the rise of the other thing here that's in Wanda. And this is really about Wanda's life and stuff. So Wanda could be absolutely dying if she can't unlock and control that magic, and it's that magic that's going to save her. That Yo Magic, which I think is representing the Scarlet Witch, the deal that she made to get whatever she has and stuff in her, and she can't figure that out and stuff to save herself, she's going to die.
What if it's like the more of the Scarlet Witch that she uses, the more she becomes her? So she just used a hell of a lot of the Scarlet Witch's power to stretch that hex.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like the more you're the Scarlet Witch, the less you're Wanda. And we just saw her use a whole lot. So it is like, what if the next episode that we get on Friday, there's hardly any Wanda left? Mm-hmm. Let's see.
It reminds me of kind of, I hate to say this, but since we do also our podcast, not our podcast, but the the big main podcast, Walt's Apartment, covers everything Disney, which including Star Wars. There's this bit of seduction by the dark side, like with when Anakin was being seduced. Anakin was a pretty righteous, Jedi in his own right, fast learner, had unbelievable powers. Everyone knew that this person had unbelievable. Some people were scared of his powers and stuff, but it wasn't until he became Darth Vader, until he fully embraced the seduction of the dark side, that his powers grew exponentially, like unstoppable and stuff. And I hate making a parallel reference between Star Wars and Marvel, but I'm just have to here. It really feels like there's a seduction that is happening to flush out this power, the dark side, the Scarlet Witch and stuff. Like, she is a Omega level being who doesn't really know she is that powerful. So as they're kind of fleshing this out, the seduction is happening. We're watching Agnes, we're watching Pietro, we're watching the town, we're watching all this stuff happening for her, including her husband, to bring Wanda to this break point. So
and she is becoming more unstable. Like we saw, when she thought Vision was in trouble, she had no thoughts about what to do. She paused everybody, froze everybody, stretched that hex, didn't think about what was happening outside of that hex. She was like, let's just put him back in the hex, and stretched it super far past where she needed to. So it was like she didn't care that there were consequences for her actions. She's losing her remorse. At least what I think. Yeah. Are you guys ready to get... Bill, do you have something you want to add there?
Yeah, well, I mean, going back to what Wanda said last week, she's tired of hiding.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we saw that, just using her magic to toss Pietro, across town. And then just opening up, stopping everything, and just going with it. She's not hiding anymore. It's all out there.
It's kind of hot.
You know what I did like though? Okay, let me be the sane one over here. So I really semi-sane. Okay. So the conversation that she had with Pietro, where he was like, so you just brought the kids out for Halloween, I see. That plays into that mirror conversation that David was talking about, because only Wanda would know that she had the kids hidden and brought them out for Halloween. Because obviously Vision was questioning why there were no other children there. So they wanted kids for this Halloween episode. But that plays into that. Wanda is definitely in control of what's happening inside of the hex. She woke the kids up so that they could do Halloween, and that conversation with Pietro.
Just leave her alone.
Kind of shows. Okay. Anyways, you guys ready to talk about? Are you ready to talk about Vision trying to get out?
Yeah. If we could go back for just a second, because there was something that happened earlier in the episode, back when they were. It was Darcy and Monica and Jimmy talking, and then she said that my guy's going to be here in an hour.
Yes.
So we did find out it's definitely a guy.
I'm still not sold on that. My heart is still like it's that was there to throw us off.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
You're taking it as she's saying it as the affirmative, like, "Hey guys," or "What's up?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Sam's stuck on that. I'm stuck on Wanda still being good. So we'll just.
But might it not be the obvious choice?
I hope it's not Reed.
Because David, you said something earlier about introducing stuff that's going to happen. And I think that these shows are a great way for us to meet all of the X-Men before they become X-Men. So could it be someone like Hank McCoy, who then goes on to become the Beast? That it fits the bill quite nicely. So it may not be Reed that we see come in on Friday. Didn't they cast John Krasinski as Reed Richards?
No.
Or is that a rumor?
It's a rumor. He came in and talked to Marvel
Okay.
That's all we know, and then the rumor flies from.
Can I just say that I would actually be okay with it being Beast because I love Beast, but I'm still going to stick by it's Sue because that's my Namor connection there. So it's Sue. Until otherwise, it's Sue.
Yeah. Okay.
In my heart, it's Sue.
Oh, definitely Hank is he's a super genius. He does have 6 doctorate degrees. He is a aerospace engineer, is one of those degrees. So it very well could be absolutely Hank. And if I like the fact that I think Darcy was talking about how going into the Hex messed with Monica on a cellular level,
molecular level.
Thank you, molecular level. And I want to say, so there's 2 things that could be happening here. One, and we all know, like in X-Men, there's this kind of underlying latent gene that's why there's kind of the X-Men that gets activated and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or Marvel could go a very whole new way leading us to think that something to do with the Hex and people going through it. That could be also what's changing and making people, So I like to think that, like with Monica, there was something already latent in them, and it gives credence to it being Hank being the aerospace engineer, because I'm assuming he's not just going to hand over his whatever toy or gadget to Monica. He's going to be a part of it. He's going to go through and maybe get his activated as well.
Yes. I love this because it ties into House of M kind of, because Wanda basically tries to wipe out all mutants. And then you get this new wave of mutants, starting with Namor. I had to throw that in there. But that, like, cosmic whatever that Wanda causes, that ends the mutant race, or is supposed to. 90% of the mutant race could very well be the Hex. I like it.
I'm taking a bet right now. I think she's going to say the words. I really do think those famous words, "No more mutants," are going to leave her lips. And this is a prediction. This isn't a theory or a speculation, because there's no proof for any ways. This is just out of left field. We are going to see mutants actually be flushed out here, and they're going to fight her. They're going to try to take her down, and she is going to realize, as the Scarlet Witch, she has a lot of power, and she's going to say the famous words. Whether she's fed up with the fighting or just say no more mutants. It's going to be. This is my prediction. She will say the famous words. So.
But aren't her kids technically mutants?
Nope. Well, yes, no, because her kids are really a part of Mephisto. There's a really weird deal with I hate saying the word devil, but they are and they aren't. So, yeah. So
right.
It's because they're charged with Mephisto, and they're part of the illusion. Is why she goes crazy, because they're not real, but they are absolutely real, and they become real in a very different way and stuff. So, but with that said, I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, because Marvel does not stick to the comic book script whatsoever. But let's just say, mutants and non-mutants can absolutely exist, even after, because it was still the case after she did whisper the no more mutants, there are still mutants that were out, including Wolverine. He was unaffected by this as well. So, with that said,
Magneto too, right?
Yes.
And Pietro, because Magneto gets upset with Pietro, doesn't he? God, it's okay. I'm going on a tangent here.
The other thing that happened in that scene was the firewall, Hayward's firewall, that is going to come back. Darcy did manage to send that out to Jimmy before she got sucked into the Hex, which I'm
excited to see.
What she is in there, a waitress. But
Oh, if they do the two broke
That would be
girls.
amazing if they did that.
No, please don't. Please don't. My heart doesn't want that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the show, so I'd be kind of meta funny. So it was called Cataract.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what is a cataract but something that obscures
your vision?
Yep. So it has something to do with why they had Vision torn apart and everyone was working on him in that previous episode, and we're going to get to see a little bit more about that. I know that's going to come back, so I think we want to touch on that. So
absolutely,
when it comes back, we can do that.
Absolutely, I think we should absolutely talk about that. I think she is going to show. I think that data that gets sent to Wu is definitely going to show the deception that Hayward laid out for them for that footage that we saw of Wanda supposedly breaking in to the sword base and stealing the most, powerful weapon, on there and stuff. I really think it's going to be, like you said, Operation Cataract or Cataract is going to be revealing to what they were doing with Vision in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Then it kind of gives, and I really think it may give more sympathy. Not sympathy is not the right thing, but I think it will help solidify Monica's reason to help Wanda even more. Oh, did we lose Shawn? Oh.
I'm back now.
Yeah. Hi, welcome back, sir.
It happens once a show, so it's awesome.
Now, the other thing that was kind of talked about there were a couple references to Nightmare in the episode as well.
Yes.
So, there's still the possibility that Nightmare or it's some conglomeration of multiple characters, you've seen in the past where they've kind of like Iron Man 2 that what's his name was a couple different characters kind of morphed into one. So you could see like perhaps a Mephisto and Nightmare type combination in there too. So yeah,
I agree. So here's my, I've read a couple of comics with Nightmare, and there's the Nightmare realm where he is absolutely like God, but the people have to, he almost operates like Freddy Krueger a little bit and stuff.
He's the boogeyman.
Yeah. And so while these people are kind of in a trance, but they're not asleep, is where I'm kind of like, again, Marvel can take whichever way they choose and stuff. But Nightmare could absolutely. I mean, we hear the references, and like I said, I will be completely flabbergasted if it's not Mephisto. I mean, it's been the common thing, but it very well could be. It could be. I was like, wow, we all got suckered into that one and stuff. It really is Nightmare or some other baddie and stuff out there. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
Sticking to the way I think everything's going to play out, I know it's going to have something to do with the kids, so that makes me think that it's going to be a Mephisto, since they are fragments of his soul, and at some point he's going to want to reclaim them. So that's what's making me stick with Mephisto. But I've definitely seen the Nightmare clues too.
I have a couple questions for you guys, if you don't mind.
Shoot.
Because I'm the new guy. First off, where's Dottie?
Where is Dottie?
We haven't seen Dottie for like 4 episodes now.
That's the $1 million question stuff. So Dottie and David Schwimmer. We haven't seen either one of them, and I think
murder suicide. No.
Oh jeez.
Well, I mean, we have 3 episodes left. There's still the rumor that, because I haven't heard any confirmation that these are going to be hour-long episodes, but that's the rumor that's floating. I hope
we can hope. Yeah,
I'm rooting for it. So I'm thinking these are going to be like the big movie style stuff, and I think they're saving some of these characters. They did not introduce Dottie for no reason. Right. She wasn't just a they have her in the opening credits in like cartoons and all. There's pieces, so there's a reason they didn't just like, hey, we just need extra to fill some time and stuff. She actually absolutely have a part here. You have no clue what that part is and stuff. Again, we can always go with the default easy guess. Oh, she's Mephisto.
Right.
Mm.
He's transformed into the stork and the fish and every other.
It could be the doctor. It could be Pietro. I mean, I mean, in each episode, there is someone who is kind of a guest star who has quite a few speaking lines that we don't see again. I mean, we haven't seen Mr. Hart again,
right?
Either, or Mrs. Hart. So there are people in each episode that we see that could very well come back to all show that they had a part in whatever is going down.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another thing or a theory about Ultron possibly being Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any of you guys have any thoughts on that? Because I don't know that much about it. All I know is that at the end of every single episode, they recommend that you watch Age of Ultron. That's what pops up as a recommendation.
Yeah,
so I don't know if it's every week. It's the same recommendation. So
you get to see the origin. You see Wanda's origin story with that. So that probably has something to do with it.
I think it's more to do with that than anything with Ultron and stuff. So,
but I mean, Ultron is inside of it. It's what you've got Vision, who is Ultron, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark, right? Am I forgetting anyone there? But that's the three.
And God, what the hell? What's Tony Stark's butler?
Jarvis,
yeah.
So he is made up of a combination of all of those, and that is what Vision is. That's who.
Wow. See, I didn't even know that. So
yeah, he is a absolute genius and a smart, and Vision's coming along like they make fun of him like he was born yesterday, but he is made up of all of these super genius type people and stuff, and it makes a very worthy complex individual and stuff. So
I mean, now he has
worthy of wielding the hammer.
Yes, absolutely. He picked that. I can't tell you how I love that scene where he picked up the hammer and handed it to Thor like it was no big deal. It's like yes,
and everyone just
right. I mean, he's done pretty well for himself. I mean, he has kids, has a hot wife. His life's kind of messed up.
Those aren't his kids, though.
But he thinks they are. He doesn't really know, which makes no sense to me in all of this, because if Vision is so smart, like you're all saying, how does he not understand what's going on if he's really dead? So I don't think Vision is even supposed to be Vision. That's my thoughts on it. So I don't think he's Vision.
Well, so Vision does. So the Vision prior to, like he like when Agnes called him out and said, "Hey, you're an Avenger." He's like, "What's an Avenger?"
Right.
And we know he doesn't remember anything.
He doesn't remember anything. So there's this fog that's over writing whatever he thinks he is, or it could be completely like been rebuilt based off of what Wanda interprets Vision to be and remember and stuff. And so he's built in her own images of who he was and stuff. So yeah, I don't think the Vision that we knew in the real MCU, that dude's dead. I'm sorry.
I'll stop asking questions, but we asked questions. We asked questions of a special guest that I want to put on here. Samantha's 4-year-old daughter Haley is a big fan of WandaVision.
She does. She wakes up every day and says, "Is there a new episode of WandaVision on today, Mommy?" So this was a conversation that sparked after her asking if there was a new episode.
And I 100% agree with her on all this stuff. So here we go.
What did you say you're excited for?
The new WandaVision. I wonder what it even is.
You wonder what's going to happen? So do you think that Wanda is bad, or is somebody controlling her?
Somebody's controlling her to be bad.
What about Pietro? Do you think he's really her brother, or is he fake?
He's fake.
How do you know he's fake?
Because he died.
He died? So someone has to be controlling him too? What do you think is going to happen to Vision?
The robot guy.
Yeah. Oh, he was breaking apart
Yeah.
in the hex. Well, Wanda stretched the hex. So he should be okay now, right?
I think. I don't know.
Now everybody else is in the hex too, though. Like Darcy. I like Darcy.
Not me.
You don't like Darcy? Why? Darcy's a good guy.
How?
Because she's trying to help solve all the mysteries. She's trying to help Wanda and Vision.
Oh. Okay, I like her.
See? She even came around at the end. She even came around. So, yeah. From the words of a 4-year-old. See? She agrees with me.
You need to tag Kate Dunning on that, that video.
I have to put it up for her. Yeah, she's got a pretty big personality, but I love that she loves WandaVision. I mean, I told you guys earlier, I've got the big like Marvel encyclopedia, and she's flipping through all of the pages and she randomly lands on Mephisto. And I sent you guys the video and she brings it to me. She's like, "Mommy, who's this red guy?" And I was like, that's what we're all asking, Haley. We don't know who this red guy is. I was like, we know it's Mephisto, but we don't know where he is. So it was just funny that out of the entire encyclopedia, she brought it to me. And it was like, who's this guy?
Right.
And it was, of course, Mephisto's page. It's like, I'll let you know when I find out, kid.
I trust a child's intuition.
Absolutely. So do we have anything else you want to cover about this week's episode?
So we know that, Darcy gets sucked in, and we're not sure. We see everyone else gets turned into clowns.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what her character is going to be. The Vision thing, I think, was kind of quite telling and revealing. I mean, it kind of supports the fact that that dude is dead outside of that alternate reality that was created and stuff. He was just ripping apart. The only thing that wasn't really ripping apart, and it could be just out of circumstances, just a couple, but was the Mind Stone in his head. So it just, I don't know what to make of that. But he was definitely decaying, and it was either. And it wasn't like the flesh was just falling off of him or anything. It wasn't like the Tony Stark zombie dream or anything. Like it was being decayed and sucked back into the hex. It was like, this is my magic. You don't get to take this outside in the world and stuff. This is what you're made of. And so if you want to be outside, I'm taking back everything from you. So
I'm curious to see, because we know that when they go in the hex, they kind of like lose their memories a bit. Like we saw it happen with Geraldine. So Darcy did just send that message to Wu. So I'm assuming she'll still have her cell phone, because this is late enough that, cell phones would be around.
Into a pager.
Or like one of those big ones with the antenna and you have to like take it out of the box.
The Saved by the Bell phone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, is she going to be able to see that she was recently in contact with him? Is that going to help her like jog her memory? How is she going to get reconnected to the outside?
So I have a theory, I have a speculation. So you got to think of when the hex was expanding, the proximity is my thing. Vision, I'm assuming it's going to come rematerialize where he was laying on the ground, and she was like literally feet away from him, handcuffed to
the clown car or what.
So I think Vision her and Vision are going to be first they're gonna come together, and he's gonna probably be integral in helping her and stuff. So,
but do you think that now that he left and then came back in, do you think that he's going to be erased again? Like, or do you think that Wanda made that part of her plan? Like, well, the Scarlet Witch, I'm going to say, like she was like, you know what, you want to leave? Screw you. Now I am going to control you.
I don't know. That's remains to be seen. I don't know if he's left unaffected and he just kind of gets rebuilt as he's back in the safe space, then he's definitely going to I think Marcy and him are definitely going to connect because they're right there. But if he is, I think she could be adding. Well, I don't know if it's a new element. It could be very. She could just like mind wipe, start over and stuff. And he's a new guy, just like I'm lost. I need to find my way home and stuff. But even then, he's still in close proximity to Marcy. Maybe she. I don't know. I think that those two are going to.
I hope so.
We're going to see them meet.
It would be cool to see a Vision Darcy cameo.
Yeah.
So during the episode, Wanda saw dead Pietro.
Yes.
Right. And it was not the real dead Pietro. It was the fake version.
Yep.
Right.
So to me, when it goes back to she saw dead Vision and now she sees dead Pietro, that those they're not really dead, but they're because she never saw or she didn't see the right Pietro. Yep. So in my mind, I'm thinking that it's more just a scar. It's more of just more psychological stuff going on, and
definitely
not a clue to like, yeah, Vision's really dead. Although
we know he is.
Yeah. And then, man, even when he's dying, even when he's falling apart, help the people.
Help the people.
Oof.
Oh, my heart.
He's the man.
Now, I do have to say the dead Pietro, he did remind me of something that Tommy told Billy.
Vampire.
Like, yeah, he's a vampire. You think he's a vampire? Oh, Tommy's kind of intuitive, and he may be just he doesn't understand. Obviously, they don't understand their powers because when Tommy got his powers, he was ready like to go all over the place, and I think Billy's realization of his powers was when he first heard his dad, and what was going on and stuff, and he was confused. That's why he went to his mom scared.
He panicked, yeah.
He didn't know what was happening and stuff. He just knows that they were absolutely certain that something happened. But it could be like there's something to the fear of the vampire Pietro. But I don't know. Did we cover all the? Oh, they did talk about the parents. This utopia, Shangri-La, and man, this would be great if the parents saw this and they both agreed. Not that that's a Magneto thing, but man, would that be a pretty neato thing?
Pretty neato if it was Magneto.
If it was Magneto, so
oh, dang.
So
rhyming.
Again, this is nothing happens by accident. Nothing, they're very meticulous about what they do, and they
want us.
With the parents.
Yes. They want us down different roads. They want us they want us guessing all of our different speculations.
So they can just laugh and say, yep, it was Thanos at the end. just at the end. Thanos is back with the stones.
So I gotta say this. This is very dangerous territory for Marvel. And here's why. If the payoff is not huge, because I have not seen any body of work that they've done where they put they're letting you know beforehand, during, and as the the future episodes and commercials, that they are absolutely giving you Easter eggs and stories and nods and everything. They're in the mystery with you. They're the conductor of Clue right now. So they build this thing. They're building this thing up. I have never seen Marvel do this. It's always really more about the storyline being surfaced, and then the hidden Easter eggs and stuff that you have to go back and maybe watch again, maybe see the after credits and stuff. That's where they put all that stuff in there.
And it's usually going to connect to like one or two specific comics. That's where the Easter eggs are going to come from, or like something specific in the storyline. You're not getting all of these crossovers that we're getting from WandaVision. So
we're getting some real buildup like that I've never seen them do before. And they're playing with fire. Is all I'm saying.
They better not let down, or they're going to have a very peed off fan base.
Yep.
Do you think all these movies that they're filming right now are going to connect to this somehow?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Guardians of the
Absolutely.
Galaxy and
Everything,
Thor.
yeah.
Everything will connect back to this. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's smart
Yeah.
on their part to be
Oh,
doing
yeah.
this for sure. So
I don't think this will be the basis, but this is definitely a storyline that will be referenced throughout
everything.
Phase 4 and stuff because of how significant this impacts and stuff. You know,
Well,
just
it's basically a 9-hour movie. If these last 3 are hour long, it's a 9-hour movie to kick off Phase 4.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. I love it.
Mm. And man, it's almost Usual Suspects-esque, right? In like all of the things that when you go back and you watch it again, you're like, aha. And that's the genius here is I have a feeling that once the 9th episode comes out, all of us are going to go back and look at the first episode and go, oh man, how did I miss that? Yeah, so
it's funny you say that. It's honest shout out Brian on the Marvel Monday. They do another show, and he said the way to watch these is you watch it the first time just to enjoy it, and then you start going through it a second and third time. I've never watched anything 3 or 4 times before, and then you start picking out, oh crap, what's that? What did she say there? What did he do there? So.
But sometimes we overdo it, and we're like making things out of things that aren't really meant to be anything.
Absolutely.
100%.
yeah, what's the crab in the commercial?
Right.
What's the surfboard mean? What is that pattern? I was doing all of that.
Yeah. Guilty.
Yeah.
We all do that. Yeah.
I annoy myself.
I have done that to myself as well and stuff. Like, dude, come on. Pull it back and stuff. That red pillow on the couch is not there on purpose.
Right.
It's just a red pillow on the couch.
Yeah.
Or it's Mephisto.
Or it's
I mean,
Mephisto always wanted to be a pillow.
exactly.
You see, the thing I like about this is I can put my stupid theories and thoughts into our group chat, and David says, "Nope, wrong timeline," and it just cuts it off. So I'm just.
I don't mean it.
No, I don't mean it as
that.
no. I need someone to bring me back to reality because I don't know what the hell is going on with any of this stuff. So I appreciate it. That's why I just throw all this stuff out there. I don't mean that in a bad way at all.
Yeah.
I love it.
No, throw it out there. I swear to God, I am not the resident expert.
One day I'm going to be
anything.
right. You're going to go, oh my God, Shawn, you were right.
Oh, I have no problem with that. I'm never.
I have a problem with that. No, just kidding. I remember I told you if Wanda ends up not being evil, which come on, Wanda's
right. Mm-hmm.
If for some reason she ends up being completely innocent in all of this, I owe you a mega apology. But I don't think
it will be episode 9 of the Marvel Tribe. Sam's apology.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what we'll call
that's
it.
what you're going to title it. Yeah.
Sam's apology.
I'll put it this way, Shawn. As far as Wanda, and I know you love Wanda and stuff, but imagine Wanda is like that guy that kind of gets in the car of the drive-by shooting. She's complicit at this point in time. She's absolutely. Once they catch all the drive-by shooters and stuff, she's going down with them all. That's just the way it is. She's not an innocent writer in this at all.
She knows what's happening, and she's not stopping it.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
She's just trying to protect her kids and stop being mean to her. All of you.
Well, I mean, technically, her kids shouldn't exist, but
and we're gonna
demon spawns.
I don't think we on Saturday in the chat. I think it was. I said something about the Spider-Man, the beginning of Far From Home, and how among all of the people who were in the in memoriam were Vision. So it doesn't look like he comes out of this
That's a good point.
alive. So we only have a couple more episodes of Vision before Vision's gone because
oh man.
Yeah.
He's already dead though. It's not that big of a deal. He's
that guy
dead.
keeps thinking he's getting fired. He keeps getting fired. They keep bringing it back. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I
he's
mean,
done an amazing job.
Absolutely amazing job. I mean, he's probably Paul Bettany. He was the voice of Jarvis. And
They said he's the only one that's been in all 4 phases so far of the of the MCU.
Really, truly,
Yeah, he was Jarvis. Yeah.
Yep. So he's been the all 4 phases he's been part of, which is cool.
Yeah.
What a way to go out of, if this is the case and stuff. But
on the world's most popular TV show right now.
Marvel always has a way, just like the comics, of bringing people back and stuff. So it is what it is. It could be hella. That's I posted that thing in there. Someone actually wrote this really long, painful theory that Hela didn't really die, and Ragnarok, and it could be her, since she is Lady Death, and she rules the underworld, and I'm like, that would be a surprise. It would be. And then the person went off into this long tangent. I was like, yep, nope, you're crazy. Why am I reading this? Oh, it's not Hela, for all you fans out there, just so you know. I mean, I could eat my words.
Or is it?
If it is.
Yeah, at this point, I almost wouldn't be surprised if all of us are just like, they let us all down this road just to completely pull the rug out from under us,
And Deadpool saves the day.
I mean, okay.
I won't be mad at them. I won't be mad at them if they did.
Right.
I'm okay face planting and saying, whoa, I didn't see that coming, because as long as they finish the ride with a yes, this is what I've been waiting for, I'm good.
Yeah,
now, if you disappoint me and it's something absolutely ridiculous, and I'm like, why did you even waste my time for the last 9 weeks?
It was Howard the Duck.
You say though Deadpool, but didn't they cast Hank McCoy already for Deadpool 3?
I don't know.
I think they did. So if it does turn out to be Hank McCoy that we meet next week, there could be Deadpool in it in the future weeks, because he has already been cast in Deadpool 3, I believe.
Nice.
I like Beast. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm actually rewatching Deadpool right now. I've been watching the past couple of nights. That's such a damn good movie.
Yeah, it is.
I had to rewatch Captain Marvel. I tell you, it absolutely is great, and it's pretty telling on a lot of things. There's some things I missed. So, yep.
Cool. Anyone else have anything else?
I think I'm good.
We got one more commercial. We think.
Yes, we think. Yeah.
And
although, I mean, after that, there could be something to pull it all together. So, there's always the possibility that they do all 6, and then the 7th commercial is the gauntlet, right?
Oh, jeez.
All coming together. Everything coming together. What? Oh, no, that's too late. I was like, the gauntlet could be the power. Remember the Power Glove from Nintendo?
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go.
But that's 80s. That's too far. So, maybe. Okay. Let's wrap up with predictions and stuff. Just a quick prediction. So I'm going to say one. This is out of left field, going off of what you said, the gauntlet and stuff. The introduction. So since we're moving forward in time and we're in the 2000s and stuff like that, smart technology and iPhone type thing where the icons are the different colors of the actual Infinity Stones. Boom. There's my prediction for a commercial.
I was thinking like a Just Dance board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we saw that, right? The Dance Dance Revolution board with the boys.
Oh, we did see DDR,
and they were blue and red. It was
maybe we get a Wii. Maybe we get a Wii.
Oh, there you
go.
Wii
remote.
Yeah.
It controls it all. But no, the iPhone definitely works too.
Any other predictions for future episodes?
Shoot, I've been throwing predictions out for weeks, that and so far, not really any of them come true. But that's the fun thing about this is, just they're genius in that they're making all of us writers, and all of us to analyze. I feel like that book in high school that you read in English class that you were all excited to go talk about the next day. That happened to me once, by the way. Just
what book
once.
was it? What book was it?
It was Catcher in the Rye.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say City of Villains, Bill. But
no, I'm sorry. That was a newer. That's a newer one. I have downloaded it. I haven't started it yet, but I have.
That's a plug. That's a plug for our Disology book club. So
that's right.
My prediction is Wanda is about to cease to exist, and we're getting just the Scarlet Witch, and Wanda, as we know it, is gone. Something's going to happen with the kids. Basically, what I've said this entire episode. Shawn, what about you?
I'm so confused. Can't even think of what to say right now. So
okay, I'm gonna say Hank McCoy. That's my big prediction. That's who we meet this week.
Okay.
I still want Sue though. So
you still want Sue. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Reed Richards. I think we're gonna see Jim Halpert there. Trying to save the day.
The two gem hoppers. Man, the universe will truly collide when that happens. When
that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
That might cause the tear in the multiverse.
Oh, that could. Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I won't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Two gems meet each other.
Well, they were friends. That's how they got the him to do it. Is he was friends with them, so that he posed for the pictures. And
I think Wu was an actor and an actor friend of theirs and stuff. So yeah. So
that would be funny.
It would be hilarious.
Well, all right. Well, that brings us to the end of this week's episode of the Marvel Tribe. Bill, where can we find you and your podcast?
Well, Barry and I do a ridiculous little show on Facebook Live every Thursday night. It is the Airbnb Disney podcast. We invite you to join us live if you are free. If you are not free on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, then you can always listen to the shows anywhere that you find podcasts. There are also podcast exclusives that are able to be downloaded. One includes an interview that Sam did with us a few weeks ago of a former Imagineer. So you can find us anywhere podcasts can be found.
All right. And Bill, David, how about you, buddy? Sorry.
You can find me on Google if you search Blurred Hulk. I'm sure my social medias will come up. Maybe not.
All right, there you go.
BLERD, yes. Right? Hulk,
Black
yes.
Nerd Hulk, yes.
And Sam, where can we find you?
I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Samantha Moldecki. And if I'm not with the team at Walt's apartment, I am over at DisIology Podcast. You can find us anywhere you can get your podcast, and we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well at DisIology Podcast.
Quick plug. I've listened to like 3/4 of this week's DisIology. I got busy at work, but what's this? Tell everyone tell our listeners what the topic is this week, because it's very interesting, and it kind of blew my mind with some things.
We actually did a mashup with the Mutant Ages podcast, and we talked about queer coding in Disney villains and how Disney often queer codes their villains, whether that be accidental or on purpose, but something that we noticed, and we kind of talked about how that's represented in the films.
What did you name the podcast?
The Elephant Gay Yard.
Oh man. It's a great episode. Your guests are great.
Definitely worth check it out.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Check it out.
And if you want to find all of our shows, Walt's Apartment Podcast, the Marvel Tribe, Extra Magic Hour, Force Friday, you can find us all at waltsapt.com on the interwebs. So from all of us here at the Marvel Tribe this week, I want to thank you guys so much for spending some time with us, and we hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.